Welcome everybody. I'm delighted to introduce you to a very special panel. It is TechGirl, Building Tomorrow's Leaders. What does it mean to be a mentor? Miriam, can I start with you?
So I'm a big believer in paying it forward, and I think I've had a great privilege during my career of having lots of amazing support from colleagues, from managers, from peers, across the whole industry and inside and outside my work. And that's really kind of helped me to achieve what I've achieved in my career. For me, being a mentor is foundationally about helping people to achieve their potential by encouraging, also maybe sometimes reflecting a mirror on some of their strengths and weaknesses, areas that they want to work on.
Didn't have any real mentors growing up, and certainly as a young person, didn't realise that I could have a role in technology. As I've gone through my career, I've had some really good mentors, both male and female. Some of them are in the room today, so thank you. And it really does make a difference. And to me, I think when I look at the next generation, there are not enough females coming through for all sorts of reasons. And I think having the opportunity where you can explain how vast technology is and the kind of different careers you can have, and there's not one path, is really important to open young people's eyes, because then we'll get more people, more young girls into technology in the future.
I think I got about 15 years into my career before I met another senior technologist who looked or sounded like me. There just weren't that many women, that many people of colour. And even in 2023, I believe the latest data shows, for example, that only 0.7% of the tech workforce is black and female, for example. So I didn't have any role models who looked like me when I was younger. So it's important to me to just step forward and be that role model or mentor to someone now.
It gives us a really interesting opportunity to connect with the future leaders of tomorrow, and helps me when I'm trying to understand how to work on the diversity challenge, quite frankly, across technology, understanding the areas that will be most impactful to do that and getting people's views who are actually directly experiencing that.
The girls that I was talking to earlier, you know, what they were saying was that within their schools, you know, they already feel that they are in a minority, but they already are helping to spread the word around, around their schools. And so us helping them goes to help others. So
what's hindering the young leaders of tomorrow? What should the industry be looking out for and trying to address now?
If you type, for example, boss or CEO, etc., into Google Images, you get a very limited kind of set of people that come back. But it's 2023 and the world has moved on. So I think it's important to really expand our minds and think that professionalism is just one's ability to do one's job. Gravitas isn't just the kind of stereotype that we think of someone kind of older or a particular gender or a particular race. So I would think just expand your mind on what you think of when you think of those things, because the people that are entering this competition will be the leaders of tomorrow.
You know, I can think there were very few senior women in technology leadership roles, and certainly even fewer who had families and children as well. And actually, I think, you know, talking about the opportunities, being a role model, being an ally, everyone in this room can be an ally, and helping and identifying talent is really important.
I love that. Everyone in this room can be an ally, because that's part of the purpose of HotTopics and TechGirl. Absolutely right.
I think also
yes.
being conscious and mindful of the image that you're portraying in everything that you do, you know, from your own advertising, your websites, like you just said, you know, how you're represented when your company is searched for, you know, all of those things. Being really mindful of what that throws up, it's really, really important.
I think we can influence things in a slightly different way. Majority of my leadership team are male, and you know, they are supporting their female partners by helping to do the school run. You know, and so for me to encourage that and to encourage them to take time to let their female partners go and expand their career and do other things is and yet another way that we can, you know, help to change the dynamics.
What do young people need in order to prepare themselves for leadership roles in the future? And How does that inform what today's leaders should be doing?
You know, the sooner that people can understand that there is huge diversity in different types of leadership and leadership styles, and understanding that you can be authentic and yourself and be a great leader is really, really important, because certainly I think when many of us would have started our careers, there was a much more of a stereotype approach to leadership, and certainly for many women in leadership, there was a more stereotypical view of how you had to be.
I do think that things are changing. If I look at the next generation coming through, and I've got 3 children in their 20s and 30s, and the generation after that, the expectations of what they want from a work and not just a work but also a balanced life perspective has changed. And I think as employers we need to try and accommodate that, not just for females but also for our male colleagues, because until you do that you're not going to get the diversity as wide as it can be.
There are leadership opportunities everywhere, so if there is an opportunity to step up and do something to develop those leadership skills, leadership is like a muscle.
Yes.
You need to kind of work that out.
Yes.
And the last thing I'd say is really think about, if you want to do this kind of role when you're older, kind of looking and talking to them, think about the fact that about 80% of the jobs on this panel are probably talking to people. I was saying earlier that a good chunk of my job is communication, relationship building, networking. So the more comfortable you get with that, the better.
Georgina, can you round off for
I
us?
can, yes. I think I would say things won't go as planned, and that's okay. It's absolutely fine. Don't put too much pressure on yourself to achieve.
Which women often do, actually, yes.
Absolutely.
Bit of a female trait at times.
It is indeed. And I think just use your network around you, build your network and use it, and don't be afraid to ask for help.
Thank you very much. A round of applause, thank you for our panel.
Thank you.